Want to make a fun Halloween treat that glows under black lights? Let's make Oogie Boogie bark. Hi there foodie friends, my name is Carly and welcome back to my channel, Adventures in Yum. We start with some dark chocolate melting wafers. Here I'm using Ghirardelli brand melts in a microwave safe bowl. There's probably about 1.5 to 2 cups of melt, but what I really like about making bark like this is that you don't have to be too precise. As always, we melt this in short increments of about 30 seconds or so at a time, stirring in between each heating. Once all of the chocolate is completely melted, we pour it onto a sheet pan that's lined with parchment paper, and then use an offset spatula to spread it into a thin, even layer. This next part is optional, but I like to add culinary crystals, which are like unflavored pop rocks. They add a really fun crunchy texture and people love the fizzy surprise as they eat the bark. I don't usually measure how much of it I add, I just like to sprinkle a nice thin layer over the top of the chocolate. We then let this harden either at room temperature or we can pop it into the fridge for about 5 minutes. While we let the base layer set, we're melting some red and a few black candy melts in a microwave safe bowl. We only want to add a few black candy melts because we don't want to make the red too dark, and we can always add more if we need to. We melt this in short increments in the microwave and stir in between each heating until it's completely melted. I was really happy with this color because it nicely matched the color of Oogie's dice, so I didn't need to add any more red or black candy melts to it. We pour these melts onto a piece of parchment paper and use an offset spatula to spread them into a thin, even layer. We let the melts completely harden either at room temperature or in the fridge and then carefully cut them into small, even squares. We then flip them over, and while you can definitely draw skulls on all of them to make them more accurate, I decided to do just dots like they have on regular dice just to make it easier. As you can see, I paired the pieces together so that I could have matching sets of 1s or snake eyes and other sets of 6s and 5s to make 11. Fun fact, my sister and I can't play a game that uses dice without shouting 11 when one of us rolls an 11. Once all of our dice pieces are done, we set them aside for now while we move on to our top layer. Before we finish this spooky cute bark, if you're getting value out of this video, then please make sure to hit that like button, click subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified about my latest video. We're starting this layer by melting white vanilla melting wafers in a microwave safe bowl. Again, I'm using Ghirardelli melts for this part. Just like before, we melt them in small increments in the microwave and stir in between. Once they're completely melted, we're using this cool Rokim Lumo powder, which is completely edible and glows under black light. Here I'm adding the Lumo Stellar Green in small amounts until I achieve a color that I'm happy with. I was going for the neon green of Oogie Boogie when he's under black lights. We then add this mixture to the top of our set bottom layer and spread it into a thin, even layer. Before the melting wafer is set, we're adding our decorations. This includes gummy worms, since Oogie Boogie is made out of bugs, the candy melt die that we made earlier, and finally some bug and spider sprinkles. Once we let that completely set, we either break the bark with our clean hands or carefully use a chef's knife like I'm doing here. And here's what it looks like under black light. Isn't this so much fun? This is such a great and easy project to make. Both kids and adults alike will love it. Let me know in the comments if you give this treat a try and how you like it. If you're interested in checking out some of the products I used in this video, then please make sure to check out that video description below for some of their Amazon links. Thank you so much for joining me today, foodie friends. I'll see you next time for another spooky, yummy adventure.